Hi, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Maureen Borsey, and thank you for attending this week's episode of Friday 15, which happens every Friday at 12 p.m. Central Time, where we answer your industry questions. So, our first question comes from Anna. Would you find it beneficial as a new travel advisor who is just starting out in the industry to have their own website design, one that reflects your personal style and travel niche instead of using the free cookie cutter one provided by most host agencies? Thank you. So thanks for your question, Anna. And you know, how to create a website is one of the most commonly asked questions we do get asked by new agents. So creating a website is a fantastic way for you to showcase your business, and it is so worth it. So here's a couple suggestions for you on how to go ahead and, create your website. So, first off, third-party travel agency website templates. So most host agencies do offer some sort of website design for their travel advisors through a third party, and the cost might be lower than what you would find through a third party or other options that are available out there. So kind of keep that in mind as well, especially just as a new agent starting out. So usually, the cost range can be anywhere from free to about $70 a month. Also, it is going to be a consumer facing website program for agents. The good news is it's very little setup and maintenance required. And, you're also going to want to be able to make sure that you have a website that your clients are going to be able to reach and book travel through your website. So kind of keep that in mind. So certainly the one through your host agency is always a good place to start. And what we find is the, agents that do start doing that right off the bat, within a year or two, then they start working on growing their or creating a new website that is specific to their agency and what they are focusing on. So I'm going to put a link into the comments for you on a really great article that we have that is how to build your website in 7 minutes. And this is a really good Wix tutorial. So this would be a really good place to start. So I would recommend that you take a look at all the different options that are out there between what your host agency has to offer you, what other third-party travel agency website templates are available, and then take a look at the Wix tutorial. And I think that's going to help you kind of focus on what other options are there out there for creating a website. So next would be considering website builders. So really this is a build your own travel agency website. There's going to be a lot more flexibility and customization and personalization for your website with your own content and structure. Um, you will have to put in the work to curate this yourself, so keep that in mind. And here's a couple of recommendations of website builders to check out: GoDaddy, Squarespace, and Weebly. So make sure you kind of shop around, take a look at each one of those, see what they offer, and see what the cost is to use a website builder. Next would be to consider hiring a developer to create your website. So for this one, you're really going to have to know what your budget is, because it is going to be more expensive for you to use a developer. And certainly it might not be something that you do right away, but somewhere down the line, as your business grows and you want to create more traffic going to your website, a developer might be the way to go. So good news is, it's really easy, and you can be as hands-on or hands-off as you want to be with your website and the developer. Also, you don't really ever have to touch your site. That's what the developer does. And, if you don't, or if you do have a specific design or functionality you want, the developer is going to be able to create that for you. So that might be something to consider as well, certainly down the line too, once you've kind of got your business up and running. So other important website purchases to keep in mind. Number one is your domain. So this is your website address. So for example, ours is www.hostagencyreviews.com. So just so you know, you don't actually own the domain, you just rent it. So make sure not to let your name lapse, or somebody else can actually take it. So making sure you keep track of that, and making sure that you are renewing your rental on your domain is very important. So after you have purchased your domain, there won't be anything at your address until you purchase and link it to your website. So normally this costs about $10 to $15. So please make sure that you do that. And some recommendations of companies that you can do this through is GoDaddy, Google Domain, Namecheap, and Bluehost. So I'm going to put a link into the comments for you on travel agency websites. So take a look at that. And I think once you kind of go through the information, you're going to figure out what is really the best route for you based off your budget and really what you are trying to achieve through your website. So I hope that that helps you out, Anna, and good luck to you. So our next question comes from Jocelyn. Hey all, I'm having a hard time verifying my business name and seeing if it is available. Would any of you be able to help? So Jocelyn, choosing an agency name, you really think it's going to be this easy process, but it's more difficult than most people realize. And it sounds like what you're running into is issues with the domain name not being available. So here's some tips to kind of help you out. So make a list of about 20 names and choose your top 5 names. Make sure the domain is available, and you can go and do this through GoDaddy or Namecheap. Also, Google your travel agency's name. This is going to help you be able to see if there are other similar travel agency names out there. So you'll know whether or not you need to change your name if there are ones that are too similar to the one you have chosen. Also, making sure you write out your URL, because sometimes when you choose a name and then you put it all together, you're going to realize that, it doesn't quite work. And also making sure, you know, see how your name looks on a business card too, because it might be too long or maybe the name just doesn't quite make sense. So making sure you're writing that out and getting a feel for what it would look like on a business card as well. And then, make sure your name isn't already trademarked. That's important too. So, and making sure to reserve your social media URLs and handles, super important as well. And then eventually, make sure you buy the domain. So this would include buying the .net or the .org single and plural versions of your domain name so that those are attached to you. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link into the comments for you on how to choose an agency name that I think is going to kind of help you out. I mean, I think it's really coming down to the issues you are having is your name is already taken. So like we had suggested, writing out maybe 20 different names, changing the version of the name that you currently have, and then going to some of these sites like Namecheap and GoDaddy and all that, checking to see, is that name already taken, or is there too many that are similar to that? That could be what you are running into here. So, next, I would take a look at our travel agency comparison worksheet. So this is within the choosing a travel agency name. So real quick, I just wanted to show you here where to go so that you can see that. This is really a good tool. So go up here to the search and just type in choosing a travel agency name. Okay. And tips for choosing a travel agency name is the article you want to click on. And here are 6 tips, and it's a really great article. You got to kind of scroll down. It's going to tell you everything that I just mentioned is in this article. And then here is a comparison worksheet for travel agency names. Go ahead and download that. And that's really going to help you kind of when you're choosing your name, making sure it's not already trademarked, making sure you register your name with your state, and so many more. It's going to provide you some really good information in there. So make sure you do take a look at and fill out this comparison sheet as well. So, okay. And then what I'm going to do is, I mean, I know I already mentioned that I was going to put a link into the comments for you on tips for choosing an agency name as well. So next, I have a tip for you. So one of our readers wrote in that with a great website, you're going to want to check social media handle availability. So they utilized a website called namecheck.com. So it's NAMECHK.com. So you would type in your agency's name, and see which sites have that name available. So I appreciate the reader that wrote in with this great tip. That's very helpful. So just make sure you check out namecheck.com. And like I mentioned, just type in your agency name and see which sites have that name available. So I think that could help you out in your process as well too. So next, okay. So once you get your website up and going, the next most important thing is marketing your website. How are you going to get your name out there? So I think that you might really like our $100 travel agency marketing plan and video that we offer that offers some really great marketing ideas and how to get your agency name out there. So really marketing is so important, especially as a new agent, in setting up a strategic plan on how to get traffic to your website and getting your name out there. Really important. So, you're going to want to consider setting up a sample travel agency marketing calendar. So, this calendar is something that, you're going to want to utilize to determine how often are you going to send something out to your clients. First off, plan early. Your marketing calendar, in all honesty, you're going to be really putting that together a year or more in advance. You're going to be looking at that and to determine what do you want to push out each month. So here's some suggestions. Pick a few preferred suppliers through your host agencies that you want to work with. Utilize any marketing materials that they do offer, because most of them do have free flyers and online marketing materials that you can utilize. They have direct mailer pieces. So knowing that, say if you want to be promoting cruises during wave season, really great place to utilize their marketing materials and sending it out to your clients. Also, this helps you build relationships with the suppliers, and it's going to help you with creating really a targeted plan. And, each year your plan is going to get better and better as you go along. So, and then, you know what? Another suggestion is make sure that your website is listed on your desktop as well as a mobile device, because people are becoming far more tech savvy, and having that ability for clients to be able to go, whether it's on their computer or reaching you through their mobile device, super important. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link into the comments for our host agency reviews $100 marketing plan. So when you get a chance, go ahead and take a look at that. And then real quick, I just wanted to show you where you can find that on our website, because I think that that's really going to help you out. So what you can do is just go up here to resources and do start here. And then right here under experienced agents, go ahead and click on the $100 marketing video. Really great information on here for everybody to utilize. And marketing is so important. And so this is really going to show ways that you can market for under $100. So keep that in mind as well. And something else to consider too is if you are part of a host agency, making sure to utilize any marketing programs your host agency or also your consortium have and do offer, because they both offer some great pieces through their preferred suppliers. A lot of them have just these amazing direct mail pieces and things that you can use. So making sure that you know what they are going to have, and if those are the suppliers you were working with, or if there's a new supplier. So say you want to use a river cruise company and kind of pushing out Christmas markets, this is a really great place. Put it on your marketing calendar and do it months in advance, because Christmas markets, just so you know, do sell out quickly. So making sure you get it on your plan so you know a year in advance exactly what you want to push out to your clients as well. So, and then, there's also a really good article from a travel agent that covers the top 4 marketing tools that you should be using for marketing your business and making your business successful. So just kind of keep in mind that e-marketing is becoming far more important in this day and age. Personalizing your email address for your company, Also having a CRM tool to utilize. And then, what's becoming really popular is live chats on your website. And this could be something that you could do, just for a couple hours a day, letting your clients know that you are going to have live chat, that you are going to be available if they have any questions. This is another great way for them to be able to reach you as well. And also, like I mentioned, don't forget to utilize any kind of marketing programs with your host and your consortium, and also through preferred suppliers. And then another suggestion is also reaching out within your host agency, reaching out to the agents within that host, asking them questions on website design. They might have some other suggestions, in all honesty, for you of other sites that they utilize that they thought were great. So asking that question there, and then if they have any marketing tips too for helping getting your website name out there as well. And then, also our 7-day setup program, our Facebook group is a really good place to ask questions about website. I've seen many people make suggestions on there. So reaching out there too, just making sure that you're asking the question through them as well. So I hope that kind of helps you out in determining, giving you an idea of how to determine the best route for creating a website, whether utilizing the one that's free through your host agency, or just going ahead and creating one now. Just keeping in mind what your budget is and the amount of time and effort going into maintaining your website is important as well. And then taking that website to the next level and really pushing out a marketing plan and focusing on how you're going to market to your clients as well is important. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the comments for you on the top tips for marketing tools for you as well. So thank you so much for your question, and good luck. I hope that you are able to go ahead and take a look at what's the best way for you, Jocelyn, in creating a website. So good luck to you. And, just want to thank everybody for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next week at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at www.hostagencyreviews.com. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend. Bye.